Yordenis Ugas urging Manny Pacquiao not to fight Errol Spence Jr. or Terence Bud Crawford. It's your boy Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, Yordenis Ugas, former WBA super title holder, had some choice words for the Filipino superstar Manny Pacquiao in regards to his return to the sport of boxing and why he feels like it's a dangerous ask for Pacquiao to take on Terence Crawford and Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Alright, so Ugas had a lot of stuff to say. He said that basically he feels like Manny Pacquiao is risking not only his life but the rest of his career to try to go up against a puncher of the caliber of Errol Spence Jr. He said having the experience in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. lets him know that a guy like Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be trying to risk his life just for the sport. Now, I think I disagree with Ugas on that one. I don't think that it's a risk for Pacquiao. Listen, Ugas definitely caught a beat down from Errol Spence Jr. Ugas ended up getting a lot of bones broken during the Errol Spence Jr. fight, and perhaps that Ugas feels like Pacquiao, because of the performance Pacquiao put up against him, that maybe he's too slow and that he would try to trade with Errol Spence Jr. Trade off of punches with Errol Spence Jr. would potentially put Pacquiao in danger of being hurt. I have to disagree, man. Everybody says that Ugas put a once-in-a-lifetime beatdown on Manny Pacquiao, and that Manny Pacquiao had to go to the hospital and all this stuff after the Ugas fight. But Manny Pacquiao was up and at him. As much as people feel like he caught the serious beatdown by Ugas, he was up and at him. Hey, the next day, playing chess, feeling good, running around with his kids and his family. So, I don't ever feel like Manny Pacquiao is the type of guy who would allow himself to be seriously injured in a boxing ring. Not only that, I think even if Errol Spence was to put a beat down on Pacquiao, his corner is not going to let him get killed. Right? It's kind of comical when people say stuff like that because they've taken so many precautions nowadays within the sport of boxing to make sure people's lives are not put at risk. It's not like you can't get hurt in a boxing ring. We just saw Yordenis Ugas get his ribs and his face all broken up by Errol Spence Jr. So it's not like you can't get hurt, but perhaps that is the worst of the worst that could happen to Pacquiao in a boxing ring. Perhaps maybe Errol Spence broke his ribs, or he's already been knocked out. It's not like he's gonna get knocked out and embarrassed again. He already got Marquez once. And it has happened twice in his amateur career. So I don't feel that Pacquiao in any capacity would ever be permanently hurt in a boxing ring. Now, does that mean that Pacquiao, just because he won't be permanently hurt in a boxing ring, can beat Errol Spence Jr.? Listen, I think Pacquiao at 44 years of age would basically have to pitch a shutout against Errol Spence Jr. And to be honest with you, I think he's still capable of doing that. He did it to Keith Thurman. Unfortunately, he took a Yordenis Ugas fight on 10 days' notice that he even had to admit that he shouldn't have taken, because of the preparation, because of, not coming up with a good enough game plan to beat Ugas. He was ultimately beaten by Ugas. And I feel like that Pacquiao would have to definitely come up with the ultimate game plan to beat Errol Spence. Whether he had that game plan prior to the Ugas fight, because he was supposed to fight Errol Spence in the first place, and the fight was canceled instead of rescheduling. And I have a laundry list of reasons of why I feel like Errol Spence canceled instead of rescheduled that fight. And I think it was completely unfair for Pacquiao to have to take a caliber of fight like Ugas on 10 days notice. Now, I know everybody says, well, Ugas fought him on 10 days notice as well, but Ugas, being the younger, already being prepared for another fighter, perhaps similar to Manny Pacquiao style, So I don't think the 10-day notice caught him off guard as much as it did Manny Pacquiao. Plus, if you were already planning on not fighting Ugas, fighting him on 10-day notice is not something that's going to help you. You know, if Pacquiao had a reason why he didn't want to fight Ugas, whether he knew about the looping punch and just wasn't prepared for that looping punch, and that's the reason why he never challenged Ugas, because Ugas was the mandatory for Pacquiao's belt. And for some reason, the sanctioning bodies never tried to enforce that fight. They just decided to strip Pacquiao. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I know 100% that Pacquiao did not want to fight Ugas, because I don't know. You know, there had to be some type of reason why Pacquiao didn't take on Ugas when he had the opportunity to, whether it was because of what was going on in the world, or whether it was that maybe Pacquiao just didn't want to fight Ugas. Maybe there was one name on his list of opponents that he just was trying to avoid for some reason. I don't know. But there was a reasoning why the sanctioning bodies didn't enforce that fight. And they decided it was better to strip Pacquiao instead of enforcing that fight, which could have been easily made over the, you know, situation that was going on in the world now. Maybe they felt like Pacquiao wouldn't have accepted the fight because there wouldn't have been an audience at the time. I don't know. You know, it's never even been mentioned why the WBA didn't try to enforce Ugas versus Pacquiao instead of stripping him. They just kind of came out and apologized for stripping him after the fact, which is completely counterintuitive. As far as Terence Crawford goes, could Manny Pacquiao beat Terence Crawford at this point in his career? I think Terence Crawford would be the easier of the two fights. I think Terence Crawford, based off what you saw in that David Evanzian fight, I think he's easily hit at this point in his career. And if Pacquiao can hit him, Pacquiao can beat him. We saw what he did to Keith Thurman. It took one round for Pacquiao to put him on his backside. And I think in a lot of ways, some of these younger fighters fear Pacquiao and they're highly wary of Pacquiao, and they would rather not get in the ring with Pacquiao because it's still too much of a risk. Yes, he's getting older. Yes, he got beat by Yordenis Ugas, but it's still a risk. You know, I don't feel like Pacquiao got dominated by Ugas. I don't feel like Ugas won by more than 1 point. You know, maybe 1.5 points on the super high end. But based off that, for a 43-year-old Pacquiao to still give Ugas a run for his money should tell you that he still has the ability to face any young fighter he wants to fight. For Pacquiao to give Keith Thurman the beating of a lifetime in his one and only loss should let you know that Pacquiao still has the skills to beat some of these young guys. So I think Crawford would be the easier of the two fights based off the fact that Evanzian was able to hit him, and if Evanzian was able to hit him, Pacquiao definitely would be able to hit him. Now, would Pacquiao be able to use his legs and move around the ring like we normally used to seeing Pacquiao? That would be the question mark in an Errol Spence or a Terence Crawford fight. And Ugas, in that interview that he had recently, had to say that he feels like Pacquiao should avoid Crawford and Spence and fight him. And he said if he doesn't fight him, he feels like Pacquiao should just stay retired because Spence and Crawford are too strong and too young for Pacquiao to challenge them. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely to get a response on the tube. So holler at me over there. And we are Manny.
Let's go, nigga. Let's go, nigga. Let's go. Whoever fucking with Mike is risking his life. I'm the one convincing your wife to sit on the pipe. Look, I'm 1,000 degrees, stay out for my cheese. Any chick with me, I recommend pass to the knees and allow it to G. Sauce one, making the green. Boy running, Louisville slugger, breaking his spleen is a penalty. Niggas gonna remember me. Enemies, I put them under Kentucky like Tennessee. Coming to drop, so it ain't hard to get dames. Niggas skating on blades like it was the X Games. Except it ain't no ramps, just player haters and tramps. Mad because my honey spoke shine like lamps. We tight like cramps, and y'all boys can't stretch it. My bullets are contagious, you fuck with me and you catch it. Anybody want static, we gon' straighten that out. When they catch a size 12, boom, straighten them out. Now let's beef with them. They pack heat with them. Y'all mad because y'all chicken heads freak with them. Looking spotless, we get them hoes topless. Y'all not this, there ain't no way y'all gon' stop this.